Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and you're watching another installment of Vinyl Editions. So stick around after the break and I'll show you what I've added to my collection over the last several weeks. Thank you. Hey, welcome back. Alright, so this last week I had the fortunate ability to get to the record store, one of my favorite local record stores, and dig through some vinyl bins and found several really good additions to my record collection that didn't cost me a whole lot. In fact, a lot of them were 99 cents. So I've pulled a few here that I'm going to show you, as well as a couple others that I picked up over this past weekend and really am excited about. So here we go. Starting off with, I found three albums by this artist. Bonnie Raitt is the name, and the album that I'm starting off with is Sweet Forgiveness. It's a great album. If you're a Bonnie Raitt fan, this is one of her bigger albums from the early days. This was, I think, 1970, what was it here? 77. So this is 1977, and believe it or not, this is the newest of the records that I got from Bonnie Raitt. So this is Sweet Forgiveness. The next Bonnie Raitt album that I picked up is this one right here. This is called Taking My Time, also another Bonnie Raitt album. And the third Bonnie Raitt album that I grabbed is the older one. This is Bonnie Raitt, I think it's just a self-titled album here, so this would be her first album probably. So I'm really excited about this. I've just started getting into Bonnie Raitt's music, so I picked up those three. They were all three just 99 cents. I couldn't believe it, so definitely grab those. Now, obviously, especially on this one, you can see the cover is not in the greatest of shape. It's got, a lot of water damage on it, and the other ones are similar. The Sweet Forgiveness is the only one that had a pretty decent cover on it. But the albums inside were actually in really good shape, considering the water damage that the sleeves had taken on. So I was quite happy with that. I cleaned them all up with a spin clean over the weekend, and I've listened to Sweet Forgiveness, which sounds absolutely great. So I'm looking forward to spinning the other two over the week here and seeing how they sound. I think they're going to sound just fine. They didn't look like they were that scratched up or beat up at all. I did do a quick listen at the store, and everything sounded just fine to me. So no pops and skips that were too bad or an annoyance. The next album that I got was also from this weekend's Crate Dig, and I'm really excited to add this to my collection. I've been looking for this. Now, warning, it is a little bit of an uncensored cover here, but nothing too bad. But this is the Scorpions, and this is a very big album. Scorpions, it's called Lovedrive. So, real happy to get this. This has two different covers. So, if you're familiar with Scorpions, this cover was kind of banned for a little while, and they had to come out with a new cover. But this is the uncensored cover. Super excited to have this in my collection. Been looking for it for a while, and finally found it in the wild. So, I'm very excited about that. The next one from this weekend was a band that I just started collecting as well. Not a band that I really got into in high school. In fact, I kind of got bored with them in high school because the radio station that I listened to played them constantly. And so kind of when you hear the same band over and over again, the same songs, you kind of get annoyed by them. But it's been probably 20 years since that. So my palate has been cleansed of all that, and I've really gotten into these guys. My uncle was a big fan of these guys as well. I'm talking about Rush, and I picked up this album. This is called Signals. So really excited to have Rush's Signals in my collection as well. I just, like I said, started getting back into Rush, so my collection is rather small, but it's growing as I find these albums in the wild, and this one only cost me, I think, $8, so not a bad price to pay for a really good Rush album. Up next, I also made a trip with the wife over the weekend to Barnes & Noble, and I found two albums there that I wanted. I had a coupon, so I allowed myself to splurge a little. The first one is this Craft Recordings release of Jewel's Pieces of You, her first album, her debut album. And the cool thing is this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive that comes on a really nice blue vinyl. So really excited about that. So excited to add Jewel's Pieces of You into my collection as well. Just a fantastic album with Who Will Save Our Souls and on this one. And then, of course, the other big one that she had was, let's see here, I'm trying to remember. You Were Meant for Me, and I Was Meant for You. Good song. Jewel, really excited to have that as well. Started getting back into her as well. And the other one I picked up while at Barnes & Noble is this classic from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Southern Accents. It's a great album. This has Don't Come Around Here No More. That's the big hit off of that. But overall, in general, this is just a really good album. So really excited to have added Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Southern Accents. I've actually been searching for this for a while. Done a few online auctions and lost on it a few times, so I just decided to go ahead and buy it. And this is a repress, obviously, reissue, but it sounds absolutely fantastic, so happy to have this finally as one of mine. The last record I want to show you I got a few weeks ago, and I'm really excited about this. This is one I got off of Amazon, actually, and they have been doing some sort of a spring cleaning in their inventory or something like that, because they're having ridiculous prices right now on great records. So I've started collecting a lot of the Beatles solo works, other than Ringo. Not really into Ringo's stuff, but Paul, John, and George's solo works, and George has been one I've been collecting a lot lately. So finally added this one here. This is called Troppo, and or Troppo, I'm not sure how you exactly say it, but a really good record, a fun record from 1982, and I think I'm getting pretty close to having most of his stuff on vinyl now, which is really exciting for me. So I think there's just a few other ones and then compilations and things like that I don't have. I try to get the studio albums before I do any kind of compilations or live stuff. So Gone Troppo, George Harrison. That concludes this week's edition of Vinyl Editions. So I hope you enjoyed what I showed you here. There was more that I got for 99 cents from the Crate Dig this weekend, but I'll show that on a later installment of the episode of Vinyl Editions so that I can spread these out over time, because eventually I'm going to get caught up with showing you all these albums that I've purchased over the last couple months, and I'll have nothing to show you, and I don't want that to happen, which is probably false because I'm buying LPs all the time. But either way, really excited for these additions into my vinyl collection. I hope you enjoyed this installment of Vinyl Editions. Obviously, you can see I'm in a little bit of a new setup here. I'm trying out the HD camera that I have on my computer and using my Rode NT1A microphone to see how that does compared to my lapel. I'll probably use the lapel more anyway, but just wanted to give this a quick one before I had to go. And I think hopefully it'll work out well. Anyway, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the setup, if you prefer this way or the other way. Love to hear your input on that. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the subscribe button below, and also leave a comment or a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on Twitter at briansvinylrec. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well at briansvinylrecords. On the Instagram and Facebook, I do post everything that I play throughout the day. I work from home, so I'm lucky enough to be able to also play on my home stereo that I have in my office throughout the workday. As long as I'm not in meetings, I'm usually spinning something. It helps me relax and get through the workday, so I like to do that. So if you want to see what I am spinning, you can always follow me on the Instagram or the Facebook page, and I post everything that I spin there, as well as some details on which pressing I have and things like that. It's kind of fun. So that's Brian's Vinyl Records on Instagram and Facebook as well. And of course, you're here on YouTube, so please subscribe. Please leave me a message, a comment. Let me know what you think of the videos. Let me know what you'd like, some topics you'd like me to discuss. I'm all about doing other kinds of videos as well. Check out some of the previous videos on storage and cleaning. I did a podcast on that. That's also available on the YouTube here or on iTunes and all the other podcast apps. So just search Brian's Vinyl Records. You'll find all the stuff that I do, blogs, podcasts, everything. Thanks for watching again. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.